Hello and welcome to the Thursday Touring Car Championship. This is round 4, race 2. Okay, so looking at the format for race 2, we're looking at a 25-minute race. The in-game date is the 1st of April 2019. The weather's going to be medium cloud. The race start time is at 5 in the evening, but we do have times 5 time progression, so I'd expect the track to get colder as we get into the session. The race tonight is going to be taking place in Silverstone, and we have a random grid. Okay, as I mentioned before, we're on a random grid, so let's have a look at our drivers. In first place, we've got Manx. He's currently 12th in the championship, but he did have a late entry. He didn't come into the championship until the last round. He's driving the McGann, and his race number is number 12, and he uses a G29 wheel. In second place, we've got Jackson, who's currently 11th in the championship, and he's recently just swapped from BMW to Mercedes, and he's number 29. In third, we've got Andy, also known as Captain Slow. He's currently second in the championship, so I'm sure he's absolutely over the moon to be in third. He's currently driving the McGann, number 53, and he uses a CSL Elite wheel. In fourth, we've got Frankie. He's currently 15th in the championship, and he uses the Astra. His race number is 46. Starting in fifth place, we've got Keith. He's currently sixth in the championship using the Renault McGann. His race number is 65, and he uses a T150 wheel. In sixth place, we've got Steve, also known as Goody. He is eighth in the championship and uses the McGann again with a 61 number. Seventh place, we've got Phil. He's currently ninth in the championship, also using a McGann, and his race number is 54 and he uses a CSL Elite wheel. One of the BMWs on the grid in eighth place is Dan, also known as Welsh M Sport, who's currently first in the championship, driving number is 32, and he uses a CSL Elite. Ninth place, you've got myself, also known as Beanpole. Championship position is fourth. I use a McGann, and my race number is 86, and my wheel is a G29. In 10th place, we've got Gary. He's currently 16th in the championship, but again, he was a late entry. He uses a Mercedes. His race number is 15. In 11th place, we've got Ollie, also known as II Silver. He's 7th in the championship, also uses a McGann. His race number is 19, and he uses a G29 wheel. And at the back of the grid, we've got Jay. He's fifth in the championship using a Renault Megane, and his race number is number 8. He uses a CSL Elite wheel, and yeah, he's extremely determined in this round. So don't rule him out just because he's in 12th. So let's jump into the action. Okay, so we're waiting for lights out. We're going to be starting on board with Andy for this one. Okay, and off they go. So Frankie's made a good start on Jackson there. We've got the white McGann in the middle making a good charge. Oh, and there's contact. Andy's been pushed wide. Jackson and Frankie look like they made contact. And there's Phil also running off there. Looks like I've gone wide. Okay, so this is on board with Keith. If we pay attention to Frankie and Jackson, see what happened here. Yeah, it's a typical Project Cars 2 magnetism of cars going on there. Unfortunately, they stick together and then that's it. There's nothing you can do. So this is on board with Ollie. You can see that everyone's gone wide to avoid all the accidents and they're trying to blend back in now. Okay, so we're looking now with Andy again. He's up in fourth. We've got Dan in third, Keith in fifth. I'm not even going to try and do a rundown at the moment. Everyone's swapping positions too much. We've got 3 wide, 2 wide. Okay, so Andy's managed to make a push on Steve there. Keith's very close. Oh, there's contact there between Phil and myself, but I managed to hold it together and not lose it. Okay, so there's stewards investigating off tracks for everyone that went wide at the start. We've got Keith really pushing there on Phil. Jay's gone wide in the background, enabling Steve to come through. Jay's straight back on it again. There's behind Jay, you've got Ollie and myself as well, all both pushing to try and catch up with everybody. Dan and Manx have made a nice start. Manx is a good 1.7 seconds ahead of everyone, so now we're on board with Jay. He goes slightly sideways coming in there behind Steve. It looks like Phil's also gone wide there. Okay, so we've got Manx and Dan coming through now. Dan was very sideways coming around that corner there, nicely held. Here comes Andy. And then we've got Keith in fourth. Oh, there's contact there between Jay Okay, action replay. Right, so we're on board with Ollie, looking at Jay and Steve by the looks of it. Okay, so Steve goes slightly wide, cuts back in, and then, yep, Jay and Steve make contact. That forces Ollie wide. That'll probably give him a track penalty. Right, so now coming down the straight, we've got Manx and Dan. Then we've got Andy, followed by Keith, followed by Phil, followed by Ollie, followed by me, followed by... Oh, I'm sure I've lost track. Okay, so Manx and Dan are now coming down to the second to last corner. They're side by side. Who's going to make it stick? Okay, so Manx holds on to his pole position at the moment. We'll see what happens as the race develops. Both cars have got advantages over each other in certain parts of the track here, so there'll be plenty of chances for people to be swapping positions and stuff like that. So both of them absolutely hoofing it there as they go bouncing down the side of the track. So Dan has a little look on the outside. Be surprised if he makes a move there. Manx is playing very defensively, trying to maximise the speed as they come out of those corners. It's the trick with Silverstone. Okay, so we're on board now with Dan. Gap is coming down from point 4. There's a look on the inside. Manx just goes wide to cover him. Will Dan get the cut back? No, Manx has got a very nice defensive line going on there. Holding off the BMW. Dan goes slightly sideways there as well. Okay, the stewards have awarded time penalties as well from the off tracks earlier on. So we're coming into fast left right. Oh, I thought Dan was going to make a move then. That gap is maintaining now at 0.2. It's crazy close, these two. This is good racing. So we're just coming down the back straight now. You can see Andy in the background there. We've got Keith, Phil, then myself, then Ollie, then Jackson all filtering through. So if anyone has an accident, it's all to play for. You never know, we might have a repeat of the accident from race 1. Hopefully not. Okay, so coming down into the braking zone here. Manx covers nicely, giving Dan no real chance to get through. Making his McGann as wide as a bus through here. Okay, so just about to start lap 3. Looks like Dan could potentially have a run on him there, but no, not quite. I think he's going to have to tuck back in. There we go, fast right-hander here, little dab of the brakes and off they go. See Dan absolutely bouncing down the inside there. This is great to watch. Okay, so here comes Dan on the inside. Oh, is he going to make it stick? No, Dan was managed to carry a little bit more speed and off he goes. Right, so straight back down. All good. Making a move as they go side by side. Manx is really going to have to push now. Is Dan going to keep it? Yeah, it looks like he is. That's his position now, so Manx is now on the back foot. He's going to have to put his foot down to try and catch him. That's the place you don't want to be. Okay, so we got an action replay going on at the top. This is me fighting with Phil by the looks of it. And Ollie wants a piece of it as well. Phil's managed to defend quite well as I've come through there. Looks like I've got the speed though to potentially go side by side with him. Yeah, and just tap myself around the outside there. Did end up going wide, so that would have added to my time penalty, no doubt. But at this point, I'm just trying to catch up with the guys in front as much as I can. Okay, so back at the front, we've got Dan, who's not really managed to gain at all. Max is still keeping up with them really well. They're on 0.4, so they're literally just pretty much swapped in terms of the gap that they had at this point in the previous lap. Andy's hanging on just behind them, and there's Keith and me also in 4th and 5th in the background. Yeah, so background this looks like Dan potentially went a little bit wide there. Okay, so makes us a little look around the outside, cuts back in. Probably trying to compromise Dan's line as they come through here. Make him go a little bit more defensive, which gives him less speed coming out the exit. Oh, is he going to make a move up the inside? No, Dan's got it covered. This is where doing commentary for these two get really confusing, because I need to call Max because their both real name is Dan, so bear with me if it sounds a bit strange. Yeah. If I'm talking about Dan, it's the yellow BMW. If I'm talking about Max, that's the green guy in them again. Okay, so we're still at 0.4 between these two now. We've got the fast left-right handers coming on now. I like these corners, they're good fun. Oh, we've got another action replay cam. This is just looking on board with me and Keith. Well, Keith's gone wide there. Gave me an opportunity to go up on the inside. Will I make the job stick though before we get to the corner is the question. Looks like I did. Yep, there's me in the background, Keith coming through. Okay, so meanwhile, back with these guys. Again, the gap hasn't really improved, it's pretty much the same. 0.4. Keeps fluctuating slightly, but fluctuating, sorry. So it's the end of lap 4, and then looking at starting lap 5. Again, that gap is not changing. It's also worth noting as well, as I haven't mentioned it anywhere previous to this, that the setups for these cars are all down to the user. We're not using default setups or anything like that, so everyone's taken time in practice to tweak their setup, or share their setup with a friend in the league, and then make minor adjustments to it from there to tailor it to themselves. So yeah, these are not default setups, these are people's hard work and lots of practice to get to the sort of pace that we've got here. Although looking at the lap times, everyone is slightly off pace. We were looking at faster times in quali, but that could also be because everyone's running full fuel load and everyone's battling left, right and centre. So, right, let's have a look at Jay and Ollie. Rather close to these guys. Jay is gunning for blood in this round. He wants those championship points. So yeah, no doubt he's going to be looking to make as many overtakes as possible and capitalise on those positions. Ollie goes slightly sideways there and ends up running wide. So now giving Jay an opportunity to close that gap a little bit more. No, he's playing it safe this time though. So easy to get caught out here. Nice close driving. Looks like Keith's dropped back as well since when he went wide earlier, so you've got Ollie chasing after Keith, which is going to help Jay close Ollie down. Little jump in the video there. Right, there goes Jay around the outside of Ollie. Will he make it stick, or will Ollie be able to defend it? Giving each other nice loads of room, is what I like to see. They're side by side. Jay's got the run, I think. Yeah, Jay's got the position. Okay, so coming back down. Well, I thought Ollie was going to take it back then. Okay, so we're on lap 6 with these guys now. We're 10 minutes in, with 16 minutes left to go. I think it worked out to be like a 10 lap race by the end of it, so we've still got quite a way to go here. Oh, and Jay makes a move up the inside again. Oh, and Ollie retaliates. goes to take the position back. Oh, and that catches Jay out, and it looks like Keith goes up the inside as well. Yeah, they boxed him in nicely. Good little move there. Okay, so we've got an action replay. This is Manx. Looks like he cut a corner, so he had two choices. He either slows down and takes the slowdown, or ignores it and gets the penalty. And yeah, he's chosen to slow down, which is increasing the gap there between Dan and himself. So yeah, it's up to like 4 seconds at the moment. It's also enabling Andy to catch up with him. Okay, so while all that's going on, Jay's managed to hold off Ollie. They're coming into the fast left hand now. Jay's now going to be gunning for Keith. He's proper closing that gap down actually. It would take him longer than that to catch up. Maybe Keith had to slow down for something. Oh, he's looking at the inside, or the outside, sorry, of this corner. Straight around. Okay, so that's Jay up into 5th. Now he's going to be gunning for me. Yeah, if you saw race 1, you saw me and Jay had a decent battle in that race. I wonder if we'll replicate it in this one. So we're about halfway through the race now. Jay's done well to make it from 12th to 5th, to be fair. Oh, we're looking at Jackson now. He's being chased by Steve, and he goes slightly wide into that corner there, which has compromised his line coming through in that section. He goes wide again, which is enabling Steve just to pop up the inside. Okay, back with Keith and Jay. This is effectively like a 4-way battle for 4th place. Any one of us could have my position at this stage. It just takes the slightest little mistake or a slowdown or one little cut corner and that's it. Keeps taking advantage of the slipstream that Jay's getting from me, and everyone is just slowly catching me up. Haven't got any excuses on my behalf with regards to damage or anything like that. I've managed to keep fairly out of the way in these 2 races. I'd imagine Jay's actually probably got some aero damage thinking about it. Okay, so through here. Again, nothing's really changing at this point. Everyone is just slowly gaining on me. Although I think Ollie might be gaining on Keith a little bit, that could just be the camera. So back with Jay. Definitely closed the gap on me here. He doesn't bother going around the outside, he learnt that one from before. I will just defend hard. He's got a good one on me there. Actually, look at the gap though, where Keith's fallen back now. Outside, which will then give him better exit speed later. If you look at the front of my McGann, they're absolutely killing the brakes, they're absolutely screaming. Wish I'd picked up on that before. I've probably got overheated brakes. Yeah, you can still see them lit up like Christmas trees, that's not good. I need to address that really for the next round. Okay, so looks like I'm going to defend. Oh, I've run wide. That's going to just give Jay the position. Battle over. Jay's moved up into 4th. Excellent result for him there. And, 2 laps to go. That's excellent result. Okay, so let's do a quick grid rundown. We've got Dan in first with a nice healthy lead, who's 5 seconds up from Manx now. Then we've got Manx in second with a very healthy lead over Andy. And then in 4th place we've got Jay, who's followed by me, and then Keith in 6th, and then Ollie in 7th. And we've got Steve in 8th, being chased quite closely by Jackson in 9th. Jackson ripping the new Mercedes. This is Gary in 10th, 11th, sorry. And then in last place we've got Frankie in the yellow and ready coloured Astra. Now we've got an update on penalties there, and it actually, because of all contact and whatnot, just noticed there that Jay actually has a 10-second penalty, so that's going to push him down the pecking order a little bit. So although he's in 4th, he's still effectively behind myself. I'm sitting on 5 seconds due to getting barged off at the start of the race, and yeah, the wide overtake I took on Phil, so it looks like I'm actually starting to gain on Jay a bit there. Okay, so let's have a look at Ollie and Keith. Ollie goes wide, cuts it back in. See the front damage that Ollie's suffering with there as he just taps Keith and just knocks his front bumper a little bit looser. He's really closing the gap on Keith here. And finally Ollie was keen to make the pass. So back through. So easy to get this corner wrong and just lose loads of time. It's one of the corners I was really struggling with in practice. I'd go in 0.4 up and come out 0.7 down, and it's so easy to get it wrong. Okay, so again, nothing really developing at this stage. Everyone's just having their own little personal battles. Oh, well, he's gone very wide there. I think the damage is starting to get to him. Maybe he's got steering rack problems, that would make sense. It does look quite unstable under turning. Okay, so jumping back to Jay again. He's now looking to close the gap on Andy. No, I haven't let him go, I'm still chasing after him. Still within his slipstream, I think. Just about holding on there. He's definitely going to investigate my braking though, because when you look at my brake pads, they're just screaming at every corner. And you'll probably see them here in a second. Okay, so about to start lap 10. Everyone is very spaced out at this point. These guys are definitely the ones that are closest together though. So, just over 7 minutes left. Can't hit that stale point in the race again. One thing to bear in mind as well, obviously now that it's got darker, is the track temperature is going to cool down, which is going to affect people's grip levels. And it's kind of swings and roundabouts though, because it goes two ways. It means that we won't be wearing our tyres so hard, which effectively makes the tyres last a little bit longer because they're not overheating or getting too hot. So I suppose it's like a double-edged sword kind of effect. So riding on with me now. The gap to Jay is starting to get a bit bigger. Didn't take those last corners very well. Jay runs a little bit deep in there. Okay, so coming down to the second to last corner here. About to start penultimate lap. Jay is definitely closing in on Andy though. Don't know if Andy slowed down because of a corner cut or... he just made a mistake. A little look up there. And again, maybe he's struggling with his brakes as well. So they're not screaming like mine are, you can't see them all lit up, but... Okay, so you can see Manx in the distance there as well. Fortunately though, they're not going to get a lot of coverage because there's 8 seconds between Dan in first and Manx in second. And then there's another 4 seconds between, sorry, what am I talking about? 6 seconds between Jay and Andy. Manx and Andy even. God, getting tired, sorry. So coming to the fast left right hand now. God, Jay was committed in the background there. See him back end absolutely crying out as they come around that corner. Slowly gunning him down. It looks like they've actually closed the gap on Max a little bit there as well. He's not been in shot too much as we've been coming down this track for the last few laps. And saying that, he's probably just playing it safe now as well. Bang them points. Very close to the end of the race now. Jay has really closed the gap on Andy. We've seen some action between these two in the closing stages of this race. So we don't want to start finish straight now, so starting the last lap for these guys now. The UI on this part of the track is awful, I do apologise. Okay, so looks like Andy went slightly wide there. Jay's going to have a little look on the outside, do his little move, going deep and then cutting straight back in to try and carry the speed through. Andy goes defensive, exactly the same sort of line as we saw from Manx at the start of the race, which served him very well against Dan. Yep, it's good driving from the two of them there. While they're battling, that's enabled me to catch up a little bit as well, so we've now got a 3-horse race for third place. So Jay has a little look on the inside, but Andy's not having it. Andy's also going to be aware of the fact that Jay's got that whopping great 10-second penalty, so by rights he could just enable Jay to take the position and not worry about it, and he'll just get it straight back again as soon as they go over the line. But I think Jay's going for a pride thing here and wants to beat him on track. I know that's definitely what I'm trying to do, give him a little flash there behind the two of them. Okay, so on board with me for the left-right hander. Oh, Jay goes very wide there. I have to back off a little bit just to not get in his way or end up making contact. So the last thing we want from this stage is just to mess each other up. That's given Andy a nice little gap, but it's given me a nice little run on Jay there. So we're looking side by side. Looking at the timing boards, we are literally next to each other. So coming into the second to last corner. Oh, and I've made contact with Jay. I've gone a little bit wide there. And then I think he's just yielded the position. Okay, so here comes Dan across the finish line, taking first place. Nicely done. Another victory for the BMW. And then here comes Manx in second place. Very good race from those two. Shame about the slow down for Manx. It would have been good to see them battle that a little bit longer, but 5 laps in, that was astonishing racing from those two. And here comes Andy in third, followed very closely by me in fourth and Jay in fifth. So good result there for Andy. Here comes Keith in sixth place. Good result for him as well. And here comes Steve in seventh. Didn't really see much of him this race. Here comes Jackson in the other Mercedes. Securing 8th place there for himself. Gary in 9th. We got Frankie in 10th, followed very, very closely there by Phil. Frankie's obviously had some rear end troubles at some point, his lights aren't working. Oh, he had front contact as well. Okay, so that's 10th for Frankie, 11th for Phil, and unfortunately Ollie has had to retire due to damage earlier on in the race. Okay, so just to confirm the final results for the race, we've got Dan in first, Manx in second, Andy in third, me in fourth, Jay in fifth, Keith in sixth, Steve in seventh, Jackson in eighth, Gary in ninth, Frankie in 10th, Phil in 11th, and Ollie in 12th. Okay, so after those two races, this is how the championship standings are starting to shape up. We've got Dan in first with 120 points. We've got Andy in second with 116. We've got me in third with 100. Jay in fourth with 95. Ben in fifth with 84. Keith in sixth with 79. Steve in seventh with 68. Ollie in 8th with 65, Phil in 9th with 59, Jackson in 10th with 52, Manx has moved up to 11th with 43, Aircool is in 12th with 39, Frankie's got 25, Gary in 14th has got 21, then we've got Tom, who unfortunately didn't make it this week, with 20, and same with Engard, who's on 16. As always, guys, thanks very much for watching, and look forward to seeing you for round 5 next week.